Today's video, friends, is all about creating a front piece for my journal for August. I always like to create a vibrant front piece in here. And yeah, I want to show you the process and to talk to you, and I'll show you what I use, so stay tuned. Hello planner friends, welcome to my channel. I'm One Crafty Dolo and I'm so happy you're taking time and spending it with me today. So as I said, this is about setting up my journal for August. So I want to show you some things that I purchased and then let's get started with some creativity. If you're new, you're welcome to subscribe and tap the notification bell. If you're returning, thank you for taking your time. I know your time is valuable. Thank you for spending time with me. So as I mentioned, this is it's a traveler's notebook from Carpe Diem, and I've been using it for the past few months for journaling. I was using prior to this a Print Pression Weeks planner, and I just used that as a journal. And so for month one, I just kind of did this low-key decoration. I like decorating a front piece for every month. In July, I went a little crazy, but I like it, actually. And here we are for August, and I was just playing with things and how I'm going to do this. Now, unlike the Print Pression Weeks, the pages in here are all pretty well marked, which is great if you're planning and for journaling. But to create a front piece for every month, I have to glue the pages together, which I was doing in the Print Pression, but I also have to cover these because you can see the days and so forth. So I took the liberty. You can see what I did here. I covered it with that bright paper. I decorated every week. I mean, it's been going pretty well. And then I already decorated this page to another and that one. So I got that set. That much I have set up. I'm going to move my clip. And I'm going to move this a second. So I want to show you really quickly some things I picked up yesterday, actually, from Hobby Lobby. These were 40% off. This is the Paper Studio, and it's a small pack, which I already was trying to measure with this one. And you can see some really pretty designs in here. Did I need more paper? Probably not. But once in a while, at a bargain. I just think this is such a pretty collection. The name of the collection is Country Road. And then I picked up a larger pack. Again, 40% off, called Ephemera. And you can see in here, this is kind of a take on junk journaling. So when you use different ephemera in your junk journal, this kind of does it for you, if you will. And I kind of like that because, time. I love creativity, but I'm a novice crafter and planner, so I thought I could use some of these and just isn't that pretty? I just think that's so lovely. I love the way the edges are. It's just so pretty. So anyway, I thought I could take some of these and maybe create a layout for my journal. I think, and I got some extra papers. Did I put them in the back here? Yeah, I did. I got some separate papers too for future use, mostly embossed. Anyway, total I spent like $16 for everything and the embossed papers and so forth. So it was a bargain, and I'm really spending lowly. I'm keeping my expenditures low. So let's dig in so I can figure out what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Okay, so you saw I just pulled out a few papers, and yes, I did rip this, but my intent is to not make this too neat, and I am probably going to rip some papers. I'm not sure how this is all going to go, or I'll cut and try to give it a jagged edge, so it didn't bother me that that piece ripped. So what I need to do here today is to cover up these 2 pages. And I thought some of this could really be so pretty. So I better get my cutter and just start some cutting. I love this cherub, and I think, oh, this is hard. I think I'm gonna cut, I usually cut off camera, but I'm just gonna cut this up real quickly. Okay, so I gave it just 3 quick snips to see how I'm gonna do this. I wanted to save this one and this one. I do like that little cherub, don't you? It wouldn't be able to fit unless I cut off some of that, which I could do. So let's play a little bit and how we're going to do this. And let's talk a little bit about journaling. So now I've been in this for, this will be my 3rd month, June, July. We're coming into, we're in August. So what about this is working for me? I'll be honest with you. It's been a little hard for me to get used to this journal. I'm not going to lie. It's been a little tougher. I think I'm going to cut some of this out, but I'm not going to do it by the cutter. Anyway, I'm going to create as I talk. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud, which isn't always the best move, is it? Okay. Anyway, I do like the creativity of this journal. I'm just still getting used to the size, which I'm actually not a fan of. I'm going to put a video below about my Mercari haul recently, and I got some really cute journals seemingly for next year. We could do 1 whole page here, but I really don't want to do that. So let me see how I'm going to juggle this. Anyway, I am having a hard time getting used to the size and the shape of it. I'm not going to lie to you. This has been more difficult than I would care to admit. And so why, you may say, like, what's the problem? What are you doing? What's wrong? The problem is me. It's me. I'm the problem. Taylor Swift. I use horizontal planners for just about, oh, I like that. Okay. I'm going to get my glue out. I'm not using the regular adhesive. I have trouble with those for some reason. Again, it's me. I'm the problem. So we're just going to use good old Elmer's. Anyway, sorry. I find I use horizontal planners for most of my life, my faith, my life. I love horizontal layouts because for me, they're just easier to work with, if you will. Well, I'm struggling with this one. For some reason, the vertical print press in weeks was easier for me. I'm going to overlap it so I can cut it down a little bit. Maybe not enough overlapping. And so what I'm trying to create in here are just different posts, things I like, but the size really does throw me off. It's so doggone large, and I'm having a struggle with that. And I don't think I'm wrong in saying that. I don't. I'm going to take some of this. This already cut a little ripped. And so what I'm seeing in myself here is a little bit of frustration sometimes because I don't really carry this around. And for me, journaling is a portable thing. I don't know what it is about the size of a standard traveler's notebook. It's me, clearly, but I just find it bulky. So unfortunately, yes, I am journaling in here. Let's lay this on top of here. Yeah, that's good. Even if it's a little close, I may clip it a little. I'm finding it a little harder because I don't carry this around. I feel I have tote bags galore, and I just feel like this doesn't quite fit in as completely as I wish it did. So I'm going to continue to use it. I actually purchased this kind of as a shop my stash deal. And I just went in, I had purchased this a long time ago, and I wanted to use it and repurpose it because it didn't work for me as a planner. Well, it kind of is working as a journal, but not as well as I'd like. I want to put some stuff down here. Let me decide what I want to do down there. I think I'm going to put a little bit more of this. So, I don't know. I'm just, honestly, I am struggling sometimes to, you know, I'm keeping up with it. It's not that I'm not. It's just, yeah, not as big a fan as I should be. And I wish that wasn't the case. But I am going to use it. I had created a monthly spread in it for June and for July. And then I'm like, well, I didn't really know what to track in there. So I really haven't been tracking as much. And honestly, that is a frustrating issue for me, if you want the truth. Let's do this one again. So, in a nutshell, that is where I am. And yeah, it's a little frustrating, but first world problems. Now, you may wonder in my journal, why am I decorating it? Why do I do all this? I do this because it helps keep me on track. I've been journaling now for over almost, well, it'll be 11 months in August. And I've really never before kept at it so well. And I'm very glad I'm still doing it. I find this to be one of the most beneficial things I do. If you haven't checked out my free class on journaling, you're welcome to do so. Okay. So this is just tearing and gluing. This is rudimentary crafting at its best. This is not perfectly straight. I don't want it to be neat and perfectly straight. I want it to be what it is. So hopefully, if I have to go along the spine with my X-Acto knife, which I might do real quick. Okay, so I ripped it a little, I cut it a little bit, just to give me a little more mobility. And I'm obviously going to have to trim those edges. So why don't we go over to the next page and see what I can do there. Now I still have this one, but that's too matchy-matchy. I do have this, whoops, I'm dropping everything. I have this crazy little cherub, which I kind of want to bring in somehow. And I'm not sure how, but I'll figure that out. Oh, I don't want to get rid of the bee. I love bees. Okay, so let's start again here. I've got all this I'm working on. I cut a little bit off my cherub. I'm going to put this in over here, again, overlapping the edges so I can trim it. There kind of is some continuity with that side. The question is, do I want to put some of this here, and I can put it in a different way, like I can do it vertically, which I'm tempted to really do. Just to differentiate it. So I think I'm going to cut some of this for now. I can do that. Yeah, because that's horizontal. This one's vertical. I'm going to make this one vertical. I try to differentiate these things to make it a little different, a little more fun. Just reinforcing. I know I should be using the paper adhesive. I don't know. I have trouble with those. Okay, shaping up, right? Now, to be fair, I haven't used this piece yet, and I did want to somehow. I could add it down here and then put this on top, which may not be a bad way to do it. It's really light, though, and it kind of takes away from the distressed look. You know what? Can we take a minute here and go through here again? I have this one. You know what? I may save this for another project. This one isn't bad. Let's just do a real quick. This one, that's okay. Yeah, there's that pink again. There's that one. I really love this little pad. It's so cool. There's so much in here, and $6.99, 40% off. You can't go wrong. That's pretty too, isn't it? Thanks for bearing with me as I decide how to do this last minute, but I just love this process so much, and my goal is always to inspire your creativity. So it's either this one, I could do more of those, not that one, not that one. I want something different. This one's cute, but I think we're actually going to go with this one. Yeah, let me get that out of there. And for the price point, then, I don't feel so badly about how I'm using it, if that makes sense. Like, I'm tearing it up. I'm using bits and bobs of it. I kind of like that because, you know, I'm not wasting anything, if you will. I guess creativity is never a waste, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, what has journaling done for me? Well, I've talked extensively about it, but the creative process behind this, for me, whether it's faith journaling, Bible study, that two-step process makes the biggest difference in the world to me because it keeps me accountable. And honestly, if you know, you know. I found for years, do you know how many journals I stopped and started, stopped and started? How many faith studies I stopped and started? And I hate to say that, you know, but it's the truth. And what I found finally was the two-step process made all the difference in the world. Okay, so we're going to put this in here, but I want to kind of do it at some kind of angle. And I don't want to forget this little B. So maybe I can do it like that. That leaves a little space there, but you really can't see much of it, thankfully. And we're going to end up putting my little friend the bee in somewhere. Oh, gosh. I would love to know if you're journaling, if you feel that creating in a journal helps you, if it keeps you a little more accountable in the process, you know. Okay, so we have this little bee here, and I think we can kind of move him over there. I like that. I'm going to trim the top just a slight bit. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Kind of off center. Just like a junk journal, only I'm using a paper pack and not actual ephemera and so forth. Wow, that's a lot. Now I am going to go off camera to cut this around the edges because I have visual challenges and I get too nervous doing this on camera. Okay, I could have also used, I do have some glue dots and I probably should have used some of those. I have a few little bits and bobs hanging here, but this is what it looks like. And you can see it's not perfect, but I'm still working on it. It's going to take me a little time again, do some visual challenges. So there's that, but really overall, I think I've done pretty well with it. Yeah, I do like this. It has a very different look and feel, certainly, than the other months. I mean, the first month I just did my normal inking and stamping kind of thing, and I thought that was good. And then I thought, I don't know what made me think of this for July, but I was like, oh, I have some stuff. I can do this. And I just used plain cardstock here. Now the question is, how am I going to list the month? Am I going to use letters? And I think I will, actually. So I have these letters from Felicity Jane. Incidentally, one thing I could have done too, I didn't. Maybe next time I do something like this is I can take a doily, I have a gazillion doilies, and ink it and then put it underneath. That would have looked good too, but I don't, what's the point between using too much and not enough? And so I don't want to cross that line, if you will. So I'm just going to use these letters from Felicity Jane to put the month in here. So I think we're just going to use this kind of as our template and our line. So let me do that. Okay, so I've got the lettering in here. Truthfully, I was thinking not to overdo it, but I wouldn't mind just little bits of washi torn into here just to add a little extra texture and something different. And I was thinking I have a little bit, yes, this is my glamorous washi tape storage. Okay. Yes. So I was thinking a little bit, this is from Simple Stories from the I Am collection. And again, I'm just tearing little bits and bobs here. I think that will add to it. Just to make it a little more multi-dimensional in terms of color, in terms of how it looks. I like that already. I definitely think that's adding to it. Yep. I don't want to cover the B. So I'm just, could I put it down here? Yeah, I could put it right there. Yeah, just a little washi to add to it. Now, the other thing I tend to do is every month I pick an author or a subject. So, and I've started to write them down on the front piece, who I'm quoting, because I insert quotes. And this was First Ladies for July. That seemed to make sense to me as a historian. And so this is so lovely. Oh, my S is a little funky. Let me fix that. This is so lovely, so pastel, so pretty. I feel like, I need to use a woman as author, and I was thinking for some reason of Jane Austen. This just seems to be Austen-esque, if you will. So I'm going to put down here quotes. Jane Okay, so that's going to be my month ahead. Now, incidentally, I do not number the days. I just I'll decorate this, and I do write on the day of the week. But in case there's a week where I'm having a tough time, I sometimes, whoops, this is coming up. I sometimes skip a few days or a week, so I don't number it because then it seems too much like a planner unless there's a journal, and I want it to be a little more free range, if you will, like I'm a free range chicken in here. And that's it, friends. I appreciate you chatting with me. I really love how this turned out. This is so different from the others, and I think adding the washi was good. And yeah, just rip up paper, get some glue, and have some creative fun. All right, friends, thank you so much for being with me. I hope I inspire your own journaling and your own creativity. Have a blessed week. Bye, friends.